Welcome everyone to the Counselor Conference. It's so exciting to have everyone here. My name is Priscilla Fernandez, and I'm going to be your Zoom host today to assist our great presenters. Welcome to Breakout Session 2G, titled Apprenticeship, Earn While You Learn. And we have our fabulous speaker here, Victor Rodriguez. So we're really excited to learn about apprenticeship opportunities for everyone. So just a few housekeeping items before we get started. Please keep yourself muted. Also, if you have a question, please enter it into the WOVA app. You can ask questions throughout the session, and I'll make sure to relay them to our speaker. You will also find a ton of really great presentation materials if you scroll down to handouts underneath the page here. So lots of great resources there. We're also going to be recording this session, so it'll be available after the conference. And if after the breakout session, please make sure to rate the session and complete a brief survey. And yeah, that takes care of everything there. So yeah, please take it away. We're really excited to learn more about apprenticeships.
All right, thank you so very much. Hello, everyone. As again, my name is Victor Rodriguez. I work with the, as I said there on my slide, the California Department of Industrial Relations Division of Apprenticeship Standards. I know it's a mouthful, but we go by DAS. And who we are is we are a state agency under DIR, Department of Industrial Relations. And what we do is we always provide oversight and compliance of state registered apprenticeship programs. And in so doing, the hope is that we're providing a good, talented workforce for our employers to train and have good livable wages so that folks can survive in our economy. So let me go and present my presentation. There's my slide, and let's get started. There we go. We are under the California Labor Workforce Development Agency, along with EDD and you see those other folks there. Also comes the Division of Apprenticeship Standards, and I move my screen. And under the Division of Apprenticeship Standards, we have a state committee called the California Apprenticeship Council, made up of appointees by the governor who help oversee on a more statewide perspective apprenticeship in California. Apprenticeship, as it says right there, has been a tradition of passing skills from one generation to another through a system of learning while earning and learning by doing. Throughout history, the world's most advanced civilizations have used some form of apprenticeship. In colonial times, apprenticeships provided the opportunity to become a skilled craftsman and respected member of society. So we really haven't changed in terms of apprenticeship. It's still learning under the tutelage of a mentor. And for state purposes, it combines paid on-the-job training. I always emphasize paid because apprentices are paid from the first day they start the job. And wages vary, and I'll get into that further. And also with classroom instruction that supports the work. And the thinking here is that the classroom instruction is a very vital component of the on-the-job training because it supports that. And the hope is that because folks are passionate about their work, they're also going to be passionate about the education that they're going to be participating in, because it's something that they, truly want to be involved in and get further knowledge in. We have two goals. The first is to match the needs of the workers for the skills to get and keep a decent paid job with those of employers seeking motivated workers with the skills to do the job. And secondly, to strengthen the apprenticeship alliance among industry, labor, education, and government for recruiting workers and teaching the skills they and their employers need. So right there, it tells you off the bat, we want to collaborate. We want to get a lot of parties involved in apprenticeship and see that it becomes a viable option for folks to consider, in addition to the pursuing further education or going to the military or some other industry. We want apprenticeship to be part of that career pathway. We have three types of apprenticeship program sponsorship. We have a single employer, which could be a union or non-union, because sometimes we hear about, with apprenticeship, folks think, oh, that must be only a union opportunities, and that's not correct. It is part of the framework of apprenticeship, but we also have non-union employers and sponsorship happening in apprenticeship too. We have also what we call a joint apprenticeship committee, and that's typically a union and management collaboration. And then we also have a unilateral apprenticeship model where it's non-union management taking over that function of the sponsorship. And we also have three types of apprenticeship program models. One is the traditional, which occurs many in our construction and firefighting industries, which at minimum is 2,000 hours of paid on the job training, or OJT, with 144 hours of related supplemental instruction or classroom training. And then we also have competency-based, which is a minimum of 6 months with skills, which is skills-based demonstration and related instruction. And then we have a third, which is hybrid, which is again minimum of 6 months with the inclusion of industry certifications. So in that one, it may be each one on the competency-based and the hybrid. Typically, we centered towards any type of certification needed within that industry. Like in IT, they may need some certifications in that, or with the hybrid, it can be nurse, LVN, licensed vocational nursing, etc. Again, I always emphasize the two major components: paid on the job training and classroom instruction. And that, as I mentioned in my blurb down there, the instruction is developed in cooperation with the California Community College System and or the Department of Education. So our educational partners can be community colleges, adult schools, county offices of education, and regional occupational programs. And I don't think there's many of those anymore, but they could be our educational partners. So that way it's the education taught in apprenticeship is certified and verified through those educational institutions. It's just not something, somebody decided to just throw on the wall and say, I'm going to teach this today. It's a very methodical manner in which the training, the classroom and training is presented. And with apprenticeship benefits, and we have employer benefits, and such that the training is free. Apprentices don't get charged for the training once they get enrolled in it. It's an earn while you learn model. So the more, as you learn and progress through the apprenticeship, you get more money. You start off at typically 40% of the journeyman rate, or the master level occupation of that person starts there, and they progress through the program up until they get to that point where they're at that entry level of journeyman. And then they become, through the course of their apprenticeship, a skilled worker with high income earning potential. And they develop skills in a real world setting. It's not theoretical, it's not through school, so to speak, but they're learning on the job under the supervision of a journeyman or a mentor. And it's in, as it says, the real world. So they're at the job site. They're at, if it's construction, they're at the construction site. If it's at IT program, information technologies program, it's in the call center or help desk or what have you. So it's there. For employers, the wages are cost effective. They don't pay the maximum entry level wage. They pay some at lower levels so that the apprentice, as they progress through the program, gets to that wage. And for public works, on the construction side, we have where the employer gets the benefit of meeting public works requirements, because for public works, which is any sort of construction or maintenance or demolition done with public dollars, then 20% of the work has to be done by apprentices. And that's how it is in California, where that benefit is given to the employer when they meet apprenticeship requirements. And the hope is they get the increased productivity because they're learning on the job, progressing as they go more into the program. And we get a lot of loyalty and high retention rates in our programs. Typically, our programs are about, I would say the lowest is maybe about 40% success rate when they complete the program, to as high as 85, 90% that complete the program. And these programs can last anywhere from 2 years to 5 years. So there, that's quite an accomplishment when you speak of a 90% retention rate on a 5-year program. And we hope we have created a diversified workforce who have specialized skills, not only that they can be of production to that employer, but also if they choose to go off on their own, they have those skill sets to do so. Apprenticeship requirements. For many programs, no experience is necessary, but there are at least 18 years of age, because if it's under 18, you get into a lot of child labor requirements, but with 18, especially if it's construction, that's just the work side, it's too dangerous for a youth to be involved in there. They have to have, in many cases, high school diploma or GED. Whereas when I first came into DS about 18 years ago, I would say it was split as to half and half, didn't require, either required a diploma or not. I would say now it's more of the 80% or more now require a high school diploma or GED. And that, I always let folks know that, if you don't have that, then you've eliminated some opportunities to even apply for a program. You gotta have some math skills, simple addition, fractions, subtraction, multiplication, and reading skills. Have some basic knowledge, reading skills, because they do, in some instances, need to read blueprints, read orders, things of that nature. And some programs, as it says there, may include testing or other prerequisites for entrance to the program. In that respect, we talk about any sort of, especially they might be in the electrical trades, a math exam that they take because they have to have some high math skills. And if they don't pass, they also have tutorial programs where they can bone up for the test next time around. Some have prerequisites like it says there, high school diploma or GED. And some also have, when they do get into the program, their employer may require some sort of pre-employment drug screening. And so, prepare our folks for that. Where can I get started to find an apprenticeship program? You can search online for state certified registered apprenticeship programs, and that's our website right there at www.dir.ca.gov apprenticeship.gov/DAS. Apprenticeship program information. You can search California Registered Apprenticeship Programs statewide because we're all 58 counties in California have apprenticeship programs and are represented at that site. But we may not physically be at that in that county location, but they do have outreach there and provide employment opportunities there. So we always tell folks, give it take a look at the website and see what's there, and then follow up on further contact information that's listed on the website. And you can, there we go, find an apprenticeship program by searching by county and occupation. And this is what our website looks like there. Oops, there we go. And here it lists the county, the occupation, and then the search button. And that's the county, all 58 counties are listed there. Those are the various occupations that we have available when you search through this link. And then when you click on the link, this is the page that comes up for that particular county, and those apprenticeship programs that are available or have outreach into that county are listed there. And then some search tips. Search the county that you live or intend to live when you are training, or select the county and either leave the occupation blank for various occupations, or you can fill in a specific occupation such as a plumber to search. And then what's revealed in the website is the trade or occupation, program length, starting wage, minimum wage, education prerequisites, physical requirements, any entry exams, any additional prerequisites or requirements, program contact information, including addressing of the program training coordinator or program representative. And most importantly, next one there is when applications are accepted. And this is the search outcome I spoke about for if you were to select that in that county area, that program, and this is that information that I just mentioned in the previous slide that comes up there. More tips. Ask yourself, what occupations suit your interests? Because if you have some sort of passion or inkling or have some sort of desire that you want to get involved in, that helps out a lot, because it's best to pick something that you like or have interest in than to just go in and pick one that's because it pays the most. You choose it because what you don't want to happen is down the line you figure out, oh, this is not what I wanted to do, and so now you're kind of stuck and either have to start all over again or just stick it out and finish the apprenticeship. I tell folks, be careful what you look for and what you enter into, because you might get it. So you really want to research your what opportunities you want to advance yourself onto, and then ask yourself, as I said right there, what experience or skill set you have. Make sure you fit all the prerequisites demanded by the program prior to applying. Like I said there, with the high school diploma, GED is the most important mark. If you don't have it, then you eliminated yourself from applying to that apprenticeship. And so it lets folks know, kind of gives them a reality check that says, I don't have this. If I want to do this apprenticeship, I got to get that taken care of. And
we have a couple of questions here, Victor,
yeah,
that I want to relate to you. So how competitive is it to be accepted into an apprenticeship program? Does it vary by trade or occupation?
It does vary by trade. Some programs are easy to get into. You can apply today and get accepted today. Other programs, it may take a couple of months because the demand is high. What I've seen is that those trades that pay the highest have the longest waits. So the electrician, plumbers, sheet metal workers, what we call the technical trades, uh, uh, are you can get into it, but it may take you a few months to get in, just because the wages that they pay and the skill sets that they provide. Whereas others, they're not too, that are more easily acceptable, but pay just just as well. But folks who say that's too hard, or I don't want to work that hard, and so those have historically have had a higher, easier manner in which to get into the apprenticeship. But I always tell them, try one. You might, you might like it and want to do that. And for each one, provides its own opportunities, so that you can. I always feel that the skill sets that one's learned during the course of apprenticeship, when they're finished, they literally can start their own jobs, be their own contractors, uh, or decide to stay with their employer. Or so there's a lot of options for once you graduate from the apprenticeship program.
And yeah, related to that, Marianne here asked, are there activities to help students get accepted to an apprenticeship program sooner? Are there certain community colleges, classes or certificates that you've seen be successful?
That's where I want this conversation to go to also, is that I'm looking to develop apprenticeship programs into the schools, and let folks know again that this is a viable pathway. We're starting some opportunities out in the Inland Empire, where we're collaborating with some school districts to incorporate apprenticeship pathway into the curriculum. And so it's barely at the infancy stages, and so we're having those conversations right now to see how we can integrate that. But the hope is that if we can create and integrate apprenticeship into the school systems, then the hope is that they would then gain those skill sets at the school, and then either upon graduation have that pathway to already establish apprenticeship program based on the skill sets that they learned at school, and then they can pathway into the apprenticeship by this already incorporated path. And then by doing that, they then have a person that has a good career path, has good wages, and has the opportunity to get good wages, and then they're going to want to stay at home and not leave for other opportunities because they pay better. So the hope is trying to keep it in-house and provide that pipeline that's already there in the community. So we hope that that's something that we're looking to test and work out with other school districts.
Great. We have one more question here. So Justin asked, many of our students are interested in apprenticeship programs but cannot attend due to being under 18. What do you recommend to help our students get involved in apprenticeship programs before turning 18? Maybe pre-apprenticeship programs in schools, or?
Yeah, exactly. That's where I speak of that pathway in developing a pre-apprenticeship. We do have state registration of pre-apprenticeship now, where that agreement or memorandum of understanding can be made with that already approved apprenticeship program in the trades. And so that way, that link or pathway is created for that individual who's not yet of age, but can take some courses at his or her school. And then when they graduate, because they were involved in that already approved pathway, can then go literally the day after graduation and apply at the apprenticeship program to gain entry. I've seen that happened many a times where kids, graduated and then next week had a job Monday. So it does happen. But that would take, definitely take more further conversation on it, and would definitely love to partner and collaborate with folks and see, how we can make that happen. We just need to get some formal buy-in, and then we can start to make that work, because the programs are ready. They want younger. We need kids. We need young adults into the apprenticeship. Right now, at last check, the median age of an apprentice, just like a first year, day one apprentice, is about 32. That's far away from 18. So that tells me there's a big gap there that we're not doing. That we're not letting our young people know that this is a viable option, and can be a life changer, because I've seen it happen, where literally it changes folks' lives because of the opportunities that present themselves in apprenticeship. So we have, we desperately want to get more youth, women, underrepresented groups involved in apprenticeship. For women, especially, you would think it would be apprenticeship currently has, on the construction side, about 4% participation of women. That means 96% are men. Let that sink in a little bit. Only 4% of women are involved in apprenticeship. When we include our other side of the house, which is the non-traditional side, then it goes up to about, I think 10 or 12%. But for whatever reason, there's all kinds of reasons. We've done studies and research and why women don't go to apprenticeship, and it's the same. And, unfortunately, it's the same as it was 15, 20 years ago. They have some childcare issues. They don't see it as a viable option, and so there's a lot of misconceptions out there. But we're trying to bring more women in, and make those opportunities available to more folks. Okay. As it says right there, let's see, make choices for yourself, expand your training. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. Look at those wages. I want that to sink in. This is a laborer, which is a laborer is a person who that's just that labor. They do a lot of physical work, and on construction sites, they kind of do the grunt work of the industry. But as this shows right there, they don't get paid pretty good for doing that. As it says right here, this in particular for San Diego County is a 2.5 year program. Each period is roughly 6 months, and so in 2.5 years, they start off at the first period, first day one, they're making a basic hourly rate of $20.82 an hour, with the health and welfare plan of $8.10, with the pension plan of 95 cents, with the vacation holiday plan of $3.57, with a training contribution of 70 cents, and other dues and fees for 48 cents, making that a totally hourly rate of $34.62 an hour. First period apprentice, day one. Now, when he or she graduates at the end, which is that sixth period, their wages, as it says, progressively get better. As I mentioned in that kind of puzzle one, they're making $32 an hour, $32.18, health and welfare $8.10, and pension $59, vacation holiday $3.57, etc. down the line, to a basic hourly rate of $45.98 an hour. Not bad. A lot of hard work, but not bad. And that's just labor. If I were to include, the electricians or plumbers, you're looking probably about $30 more at the last level rate. So each, but they're still livable. You can afford a family on these wages, I think. But it just presents itself very well. Now we got additional benefits in that all apprentices receive a state certification for completion. And then we also have apprenticeship programs and on-the-job training programs that allow veterans to learn the skills for a lifelong career while earning money and collecting on their GI Bill. So veterans can access, if they come into a state registered apprenticeship program, as if they were going to college and using their educational benefits or doing some sort of other specialized training that their ed benefits would pay for. So they can also use that to access, if they're part of the apprenticeship program, they can access those benefits also. And that's what a certificate of completion looks like from the state. Completion of apprenticeship to this gentleman for acoustical installer. On your chat, does anybody know what acoustical installer is? Let's see if anybody in the chat says anything. I'll wait a few moments. No? Okay.
Not seeing anything now.
Okay.
We have here ceiling tile installer.
Oh man. Okay, got it.
Music installing.
Well, that's what acoustical installer is. It's they do those ceiling tiles in the classrooms and in the music room. So that's what that person does. Is that in itself is a separate trade, acoustical installer. So and they make, and that's under the carpenters trades. So good for whoever said ceiling install. Very good. And then you get that real. I mean, this is we have this done really. This photo doesn't do justice to the program. It's to the picture, but it's really nice. It's gold embossed and in a really nice paper and good for framing. Really good. But what's I always tell apprentices too is that they need to keep these certificates, and they also get what we call a journeyman card with it, because they're going to in many now in public works, you have to show proof that you've completed a state apprenticeship program in order to work on the job as a journey person. So these are becoming much more valuable in that particular industry. And so it's a good thing to have. This is what we do at the AS when we work on new programs, potential new program sponsors or new industries that want to get involved in apprenticeship. We want to help. Every program has an assigned consultant who will facilitate the development of a new apprenticeship program, help design the program and organize the necessary components, provide direction with state laws, rules, and regulations. I didn't mention that before. Apprenticeship is held under state labor code and state California Code of Regulations. So it is a regulated industry or program, and assists with recruitment and outreach strategies, which is one of these, what we're doing today. And then we attend what's called community meetings, which are committee meetings, which are meetings that are held either monthly, quarterly, or twice a year, where the program just gets together, brings in employers and other interested parties into these meetings to talk about how we're doing an apprenticeship. What do we need to work on? Are we up to industry standards? And what do we need to change and provide so that we're at a level where we're providing the best trained folks out there to represent our industry. And then the way that we hold programs accountable is that we do that we monitor them to ensure quality and success of the program and the apprentices. And we accomplish this through annual reviews and independent auditing. So we go in there and look at their records, the program records in terms of applications, evaluations, schools, classroom instructions, grades, content, on-the-job training records, any sort of documentation, communication between the program and the apprentice. And so we make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. And then, as I say right there, before we get to that one, the apprentice that goes into the program, they become an employee once they get signed on to a contractor. In our traditional side, that's the contractor. On our non-traditional side, we have employer sponsors that have joined in with that particular apprenticeship program. And then, but once the apprentice gets signed on to the contractor or the employer, then they are their employee. And so, and they are held under any sort of regular employer-employee obligations and compliance when it comes to monitoring and disputes and things of that nature. They get the same remedies and the like through compliance and oversight through, like, labor standards enforcement does the oversight for employer-employee disputes. But with the apprenticeship, you have the apprenticeship program that's the first level of trying to resolve those kind of disputes. So it doesn't get that far. And you always want to try to take care of it before it goes that far, because if it goes that far and the employer loses, then there can be some fines and penalties. So it's to the employer's advantage to really participate in the apprenticeship program and take advantage of that process if it should go that far. And then, as I say there, the dialogue has begun. Partnerships and partnerships. What we want to do is form partnerships throughout the state, and then we want to, collaborate with these partnerships. As I mentioned earlier, we want to bring apprenticeship into the schools, into the community colleges, and we have it to some extent. We have many community colleges here in San Diego that participate in apprenticeship. We have City College, we have Mesa, we have Miramar, we have Southwestern, Palomar. I think we had Grossmont. Yeah, pretty sure. And so we have a lot of participation in apprenticeships, and also through our adult schools, specifically Grossmont Adult Ed with Matt Russo being my main partner out there in collaborating apprenticeships. And we've begun both in those levels, in those partnerships. They are the educational sponsor that oversees that curriculum taught, but in some instances are also the program sponsor, where they're going out and creating apprenticeship opportunities with employers and utilizing internal curriculum to help facilitate that part of the program, and then working with the employers to provide that on-the-job training with using apprenticeship and us as that other third leg of the triangle to form this partnership. We also have pre-apprenticeships going out too, and so utilizing some of their existing programs that they have that they're creating a pre-apprenticeship models for. So it's really has been a very successful partnership, but again, we want more, and we want to be able to. We think it's a very viable opportunity out there that can gain so much, and just for us, it's a good thing. And
And we have one more question here.
uh-huh.
Are pre-apprenticeships listed on the website that you referenced?
Not yet. Yeah, and that's been brought up to our IT folks, but we are working on it to get that taken care of, and I will let our folks know that it's an absolute necessity that we have that more publicized out there. We have information on it, how to make one, but where it's still relatively new. We just got this authority within the last couple of years, and so we're still finding our way about it, and promoting it, and getting those kind of opportunities available for folks to begin the process of creating pre-apprenticeships. And so that's always something that we can help out in help developing, and creating those linkages with approved apprenticeship programs, because we know who those players are, and can help facilitate those type of dialogue and hopefully collaboration, so that we can see that true link or pathway happen. And as I said there, how can we work together as partners? How can we assist each other to promote DS services to future apprentices, and in turn, DS support your objectives? And what could be our next steps? So we also have 5 offices. Is that 6? 6 in California. For here in SoCal, so in Southern Cal, we have LA office, and our San Diego office out in Mission Valley, at the state building out there off of Center Road, Auto Center Road, I think it is. Yeah, hell, it's my office. We, because of COVID, we haven't we've done much of our work like everybody else off-site, and so we're slowly going back into the offices. But we do have an office in San Diego, but as I said before, we don't go there much. But we are available to assist and help facilitate any sort of dialogue having to do with apprenticeship, and seeing how that can be further pursued, and maybe come into fruition of a new program or a new pathway. And the next slide shows you my contact information at our San Diego office, and our main number there, and our fax number. Yeah, we still have faxes. And our website at dir.ca.gov/DAS. Our email, das@dir.ca.gov, and my information right there, Senior Apprenticeship Consultant, my phone number, that's my work cell. And then my email to contact me for any questions. And fairly good in responding back quickly. And some people are surprised by my prompt response, which I like. And so, we want to be able, as I said before, collaborate in whatever manner that we can see fit to get this moving forward. Now, I can, if there's more questions, or else, I'll leave it up to you. We can, more questions, or I can go through, I think, before I promise it, and an example, give you a quick tour of our website, so that one can see kind of bring to life what I had in the slides. I'll go by what you all
Yeah, I think that sounds great. I'm just waiting in on some questions, and I can, once you get all those submitted, I will reach out. But if you want to go ahead and give us a little tour, that sounds great.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is all I'm doing. Okay. Oops, no, wait, this is okay. Okay, I see what it is. Let me get back to sharing. Come on, share screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, that's our website at dir.ca.gov. As you see right here are various links. The one that I spoke specifically about is apprenticeship, so I'll click on that one. And then what you get there is our webpage, Division of Apprenticeship Standards, or DAS. And it's really simple. We have a link right there that says Become an Apprentice. Click on that link. And it says right there, how to become an apprentice. As I mentioned in my presentation, qualities that successful apprentices share include perseverance, ambition, and initiative. Educational requirements vary. Some programs prefer applicants with a high school diploma, some don't, or equivalent, and others may not. Some programs require you to take an aptitude or other kind of test. Most programs require English proficiency. To become an apprentice, if you are interested in becoming an apprentice, using our search link too, and we'll click right there. And it comes up to that screen, find an apprenticeship program. And this one lists by county, as I mentioned before. And this one will pick, because we're in San Diego, we'll pick San Diego. And by chat, any particular trade, because I got a whole bunch from agriculture to tile layer and setter. I got heating and glass, entertainment, electrical, hospitality.
So we had one comment come in, electrician.
Okay, there's always one what's an electrician. Electrical and electronic, click that, press select search, and out comes for San Diego County. Those are the programs here that are listed. There's 6 apprenticeship programs in San Diego County that provide electrical training. And on the left, it shows there the trade, and we call them inside wireman or electrical construction. That one, intelligent transportation systems, if you don't know what it is, and just because I helped create that program, that is on the trolley stations. You see those digital signs on the trolley platforms. That's what an intelligent transportation systems electrician does, and also on the trolley trains. And then a residential wireman, just like it says, it's in for home. So let's select, because you don't know, we don't designate union or non-union, but the way that you kind of can tell is if it has a JATC or JAC at the end of it, like it says JATC for San Diego Electrical, that's a union, because that's Joint Apprenticeship Training Committee. Everybody else, like you say, UAC, unilateral, that's non-union. So, so on that, let's pick San Diego. That's the San Diego Electrical Union Program. So you click on that. Oh, I hope maybe I went too fast. On that, you see where my clicker is, my hand, and the electrical inside wireman kind of shines out. Click. And then right there gives you the program detail. And this is current as 11/30/2021. The trade program length 60 months, 5 years. Starting wage, that needs to be updated because I know they make more than 16 bucks an hour. Minimum wage 18. Educational prerequisite, a high school diploma or GED. Additional prerequisites. And this is the one where I was speaking of, they might require some sort of test. And this,
sorry.
No.
What was is the website on one of the resources that you provided?
Yes.
Okay.
dir.ca.gov/or/DAS.
Perfect. Thank you.
And on this one, they asked for must show successful completion of 1 year or 1 full year of high school algebra with a passing grade or one post-high school algebra course with a passing grade. Now with that, what I've seen, especially with this trade, is that they'll have, as it says right there, it is physical work. There is a written test, yes, an oral exam, yes, meaning there is an interview. And then additional, as it says right there, must provide official high school transcripts plus GE certification if applicable. Official transcripts and official GED scores are the only acceptable forms of documentation. Transcripts must be officially sealed and unopened. And that pretty plain right there. And that's who you contact information, contact person, contact phone number, and email. The applications are taken continuously, meaning you go in and apply. They may not get back to you for a while because usually their classes start in September or sometimes in January, kind of coinciding with the school year for community colleges because that's who their educational sponsor is. But sometimes they have other times where they accept entries. It all depends on the demand, what the demand out there is. So that's why we always say contact the program. Don't rely on us for that information because most likely ours is already outdated. So we always have people, contact the program directly and then ask them, hey, when are you accepting applications?
And I think you did address this a little bit, but here, is there a website where we might have access to the salary/benefits grid that you showed us for labor apprentices?
Yeah.
For other trades, would love to share with students and parents.
Sure. I'll backslash to that opening page where I was before. Okay, there's our website up there somewhere. There we are. It's up there somewhere. My drop down screen is blocking it. But on right here on quick links to your right, there's a section down here on public works and apprenticeship. And this is just for the construction trades right now. The other industries, you have to call them directly, but at no point can an apprentice make no less than minimum wage of that area. So that's and we try not to have folks wages at that level. We always try to have them a little bit higher, but by law, that's the minimum wage that an apprentice can have is what's allowable by local or state mandate. So for the trades, at least right here, how to find the wages, we go to find apprenticeship wages, click it, and it tells you a little bit about public works and the like. But we're looking, it always defaults to the most current and active wage rate because they do change twice a year. So for this particular one, we got the most recent 2021, second half of the year, -2. And we'll go to San Diego County. Press submit. And then for apprentices, well, those are the different trades that are available that we have posted for apprentices. And was mentioned electrical. So right here, view electrician inside wireman. Click on that and there are the wages. First grade apprentice makes almost 20 bucks an hour. With the benefit packages, not bad. But their first hourly rate is $27.64 an hour. When they finish, when they finish the program at their 4.5 years into the program, they are now making $40, hourly rate of $40, almost $41 an hour. Health and welfare, pension, vacation holiday, training, other. And for many programs, especially on the construction side, they do start collecting or contributing for pensions, healthcare, other pension, as it says there. So they're already starting their benefit packages, and if you start at a younger age, like we want 18-year-olds in, literally by the time they turn 50, which is way beyond me, they can retire and retire well. And so there's some good opportunities there. And as you see there, the last period of an apprentice is now making close to 55 bucks an hour.
And we have another question here. It says that they checked out the apprenticeship website and did the search focused on San Diego County, but a lot of places were showing offices and contact information up north in LA or Sacramento. How do we know if an apprenticeship program is in San Diego County proper?
If they're in, typically, if they are listed for our county, that means they have to buy those services in our county, in San Diego. So they may do that through means of online, may already have educational contacts down here in the county that provide those educational services. They may have also field offices there where they handle the day-to-day business of for employment of apprentices, especially if it's a union one. So there are opportunities out there to gain entry. That's why we tell folks, again, call them, let them know, hey, I live in La Mesa or Lakeside or El Cajon, wherever you happen to be, and I want to join the apprenticeship. What do you have for me down here that I see your offices are in Sacramento or LA and things like that? They'll answer you. They said, yeah, it's because typically what happens is that we have to for our database, we have to put down the main administrative office for the apprenticeship program in that contact information. So though it may list Sacramento or LA or what have you, they do have some sort of local presence there that they would, when you contact them, they would provide you that information about.
Thank you. Those are all our questions I see here in the chat.
Okay. And again, I want to just put it out there that we want to collaborate and bring this apprenticeship opportunities to the students, especially indoctrinating them or getting them into knowing about apprenticeship in middle school, but especially junior and seniors in high school. I was working out with a person out here at El Capitan High School, and she made it part of her master's project to bring apprenticeship to the juniors and seniors at LCAP, because they had elective classes in the afternoon. And so she contacted me, and she developed a curriculum that we brought to the students there. I mean, it was small, like 8 to 10 kids, but that's okay. And, if we impact one, that means that the person can hopefully go on with a good career once they graduated. But we brought in a couple of guest speakers that talked about the trades from the training perspective. We brought in other resources and materials to help kids decide if if they already had an inkling towards apprenticeship. Maybe urge them on a little bit more, giving them resources and working with them to kind of plan out that pathway once they graduated from high school. And so, yeah, it was a good effort. And that, my goal would be to, see some sort of opportunities for all high school students to at least know about apprenticeship, and that it's a viable option. And, because college is not for everybody. We all know that. And the military isn't for everybody, even though we have large military presence down here. And unless you have this talent or skill that you can that you're able to market, then you gotta have something to gravitate towards. So, and we think
Yes, absolutely.
apprenticeship is that way.
Well, I want to thank you so much on behalf of all of everyone who was watching. Thank you so much for all of these resources, Victor. It was such a great opportunity to be able to see this. Please rate the session. And yes, thank you so much. A virtual round of applause.
Wow, I lasted past 1 o'clock.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I hope you all have an amazing conference and a great rest of your day.
Thank you all. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Victor.
All right. Bye-bye.